How's it going, guys? Welcome back to the Fu Show. I'm your host, Coach Ali Fu Show. In today's episode number 26, our main topic will be home gym versus commercial gym in the year of 2023. But before we go talk about that main topic, I do have some order of business that I just want to mention before the main meat of the episode. The first thing that I want to talk about, the first order of business, is that we are now at episode 26. So obviously we've had 25 episodes up to this point. It's been around 3 or 4 months since we've started this podcast, and I just want to say thank you to everyone to everyone that's been watching. I really do appreciate it. And just to because I didn't really look at the numbers until recently, as in literally right before filming this episode. Of course, I saw the numbers, but I never really looked at it as a whole on how much, of course, views, retention that both the YouTube and Spotify platforms have been getting specifically for the Fu Show. So I just want to mention it. So in the past 25 episodes, we were able to amass roughly 4,800 views in total. So this is for both YouTube and Spotify, which are, I guess, the two main platforms for podcasting, or where I upload this. So 4,800 views. That's crazy. And that's an average of 190 episodes. 190 views per episode for both platforms. I'm really, really thankful to get this much. I mean, I was really happy with 10 views because, of course, it's a podcast. It's not like it's a viral Mr. Beast video where the views are really crazy because, of course, it's a very niche. This podcast setup is very niche. I'm a Filipino personal trainer that talks about, the strength scene of course, I talk about fitness in general. So it's not just powerlifting. Of course, I've had I've had a basketball strength and conditioning coach, Coach LA. I've had a CrossFit coach, Coach Ken. And on the note of my guests, I've had 9 special guests on this episode, on this show, ranging from, again, basketball SNC coach, a powerlifting coach, a CrossFit coach, legit world-class lifters that are Filipinos. One of my best friends, Jappy, an artist, a painter. So it's just, of course, there's a wide variety of strength that has been shown in this show. And I just want to be very, very, I'm really grateful. And of course, the most recent, I put in my notes here because it's worth noting, the most recent episode with Esme Cruz, the tournament director of the very successful CBOL 2023, which I've been mentioning over and over again for the past month and a half now because of how great the actual event was. That episode number 25, was the fastest one to it was the episode among the rest that had the most number of views, most number of streams within a month. Within a week, actually. So within a week of it being uploaded, it got 160 views, as opposed to the others where it takes around 2 to 3 weeks to get that range. So again, a lot of people were very much interested in what Esme had to say, and what she had to say was really worth the listen, worth the watch. So if you guys haven't watched that episode, I highly, highly recommend that you do check it out. I've had amazing guests. If you have any guests that you feel like I can humbly approach, because of course this is a small show, we're a humble show, self-sponsoring show. If you have any guests that you might think might be willing to be a guest here for me to interview, to get to pick his or her brain on the topic of whatever it can be that's strength related. So it can be another CrossFit coach, it can be a bodybuilder, whoever. If you have an idea on who you'd want to be on this show for me to interview, please let me know. And of course, maybe if you're a close friend of that person, you can knock on their door and ask, hey, why don't you join the Fu Show with Coach Ali Fu Show? But if you have any idea, if you have somebody in mind that you want to be a guest of the show, please let me know. Next thing that I wanted to talk about, but of course, I want to say once again, thank you to everyone who has been viewing this self-sponsored show. Another thing that I wanted to mention is that just this is just more of sharing my coaching business, my personal training, and my online coaching. For the past 2 years, I would say I've been relatively fully booked, and I'm very fortunate to be in that situation. So whenever somebody would message me to get my coaching, I'd always have to politely turn them away or point them another direction, etc. But since I have been feeling or I've been thinking about kind of toning down my actual personal training, my in person training where my clients come to this gym and I coach them here, I have been thinking about doubling down on my online coaching. And on that note, I wanted to share with everyone that since I have been using a coaching app for my personal training clients, I within that app I will also be launching a how can I phrase it? So, because it's not personal, it's not online, personal online training. Okay, here. I will be launching programs. That's basically it. So, I will not be as in Filipino as tutok or here in English as hands-on because of course that would be reserved for my personal training clients. But instead, I'll be offering programs for people because people have been asking me, hey, coach, do you have programs that I can follow? And then I always say, oh, sorry, I don't post them online. All the programs I make are tailored for or personalized for my clients. Then they're like saying, oh, you should make a program that people can just download. I'm sure people will pay money. And for the first time I heard that, I was like, I'm pretty sure people wouldn't want to pay money for just a program. And then I realized that actually, yeah, I've been paying money for resources, for like books, for programs, so I can learn from them. So I guess to the people who are really interested, this is your chance because I will be uploading or so I will be launching 3 programs that people can download, of course, with a minimal fee. And I do literally say minimal fee because it's way cheaper compared to my personal training and online coaching service. So this one is a more affordable option that a lot of people can now download. So I'll be happy. I'll give you guys more details once it's near, but you can expect it early April, which is basically 1 month from now. So if you have anybody in mind that wants to be, and sorry, it's not going to be a powerlifting program. It's not going to be to that extent of powerlifting, even though I've been making a lot of powerlifting content, but that's primarily because I'm not really a very credible power lifter. I mean, of course, I'd like to believe before I kind of was, but I'd rather, if ever I'm going to promote or give out a powerlifting program, it is going to be with, a collaboration work with other powerlifting coaches. I mean, of course, I do coach some powerlifters, but if I'm going to upload a powerlifting program, I'd want other people, other like way more reputable coaches to collab with me on that part. So yeah, that's something to look forward to. And then I guess that's about it. That's one thing I wanted to mention, actually. Oh yeah. On the note of sponsors, this episode, just kidding, there's no sponsor of this episode. But if you know somebody who would want to sponsor a small creator, maybe somebody... Yeah, I have their stickers right here. If they'd want to sponsor a podcast, I don't know, that'd be cool. So to those folks who can have, some conversations with some people, hit your boy up. But all right, so that was like how long? Sheesh, that was like close to 10 minutes of me doing an intro for this episode. Now let us finally talk about the topic at hand. Home gyms versus commercial gyms in 2023. Which one is better? Now, when I was trying to make the script or the flow of this episode, I realized, because I use the app Notion to take down all my notes. If you guys are not familiar with Notion, it's a great app. Highly recommend it. And just recently, across the board across the internet, AI, artificial intelligence, has been booming. It's been a lot more popular and accessible. This app, Notion, just released some AI within it. So I tested it out. I typed out benefits of home gym training versus commercial gym training. Actually, that was a bad way for me to phrase it. But basically, I wrote down home gym training versus commercial gym training benefits. And I asked the AI to type out a minor summary or synopsis. It said, and this is great, the AI is crazy. I mean, it's not, super duper in detail, but it's great. It goes, there are a few benefits to training in a home gym versus a commercial gym. For one, you have complete control over the equipment and environment, which can be helpful for people with specific training needs or preferences. Additionally, you save time and money on commuting and gym fees. However, commercial gyms offer a wider variety of equipment and classes and can provide a more social atmosphere for some people. That's crazy. That's a really good summary on the differences between home gym training and commercial gym training. And the reason why this is a topic that I wanted to talk about is because it's 2023. We are at season 3 of COVID, and definitely hopefully this is the season finale wherein COVID masks, everything are really going to be gone. Here in the Philippines, I would want to say, based on what I've been observing, it's basically gone already. You're not required to wear masks outdoors, indoors as well. So I'm going to say it's pretty much over already. And because of that, okay, somewhat of a rewind, COVID at 2020 was really, really bad. It was everywhere. People were scared. And of course, to the people that wanted to still work out, what did they do? They invested in a home gym. And rightfully so, because aside from doing bodyweight workouts, they had no other choice but to invest in some home gym equipment, whether that be a full power rack, barbell plates, or maybe a humble set of dumbbells, resistance bands, whatever, because they had literally no choice but to do so. And now that things are becoming thankfully, a lot more accessible, a lot safer, I would say, people are now going back to commercial gyms. And this is when the topic comes into play. Which one, people might be thinking, which one is actually better? Training in a home gym or maybe in a commercial gym, despite it being 2023. Now, before I go talk about the actual points within this topic, I want to give out some examples of 3 different groups of training setups to show to you right off the bat that there really is no best answer. Like I'll just say it straight off, right off. Not one is essentially better than the other because there are, of course, different things that people might want to prioritize. So there is no clear winner. And now I have 3 different setups, and each setup has 3 examples of 3 different lifters who are excelling. So again, here are 3 levels. Wait, I'm mixing up my own phrasing, which is sorry about that. Anyway, here's the first setup. This is the example of somebody who has transitioned from home gym training to now almost exclusively commercial gym training. So the first example is going to be Coach EJ Barcenas. Next is Joey Mangoba. I'm so sorry if I butchered your name. And of course, Rafael Cahilig. These are 3 very, very high-level powerlifters in the Philippines right now. Really, really respectable. And back in 2020, based on their social media posts and of course conversations that I've had with them, they were training at home. So Coach EJ had his own power rack. I think Joey, who just recently, like me and him just basically, got acquainted recently. But I have been seeing his posts. I remember seeing his posts way before that he had a squat rack by his garden or swimming pool in his house, which is it's very unique. And of course, we have Raf Cahilig, who had a rack and like barbell setup in his garage, I believe. Now they have made the full transition based on their posts to commercial gyms. So I think Coach EJ and Raf Cahilig have been working out in Gymzilla, a gym that we've mentioned in the past, to be a really good gym for powerlifters. And then Joey has gone to Anytime Fitness. You know, of course, if you're in the Philippines, you definitely know what Anytime Fitness is. So these are, again, elite level lifters who have now decided to transition into a commercial gym setup. Does that mean that, for me to reach their level, I have to go to a commercial gym? Not exactly, because now I have examples of 3 lifters who have stayed at their own home gym. Again, when I categorize them. I'm not going to say that 100% of the time they're at their home gym. It's more like a 80-90%, again, based on the conversations I've had with them and or their own social media posts. First example of somebody who's been almost exclusively in their own home gym would be Cinder Bayo on IG. Try to pronounce your last name, bro. Cinder Bayongasan. There we go. So Cinder, he is a lifter from Baguio, and based on his posts, despite the pandemic becoming a lot easier, he has still trained primarily at his home gym. Next one is going to be Coach Ken Tan, the CrossFit coach that I've had here earlier on, like episode number 6, I believe. He is a CrossFit coach, and he also has a home gym. I believe he uses that primarily for his clients as well. But despite that, he still primarily trains there. And then the last example would be, we've never formally met, but I think we know each other because of the competition. Bill Sikian, a really, really strong lifter. I believe his coaching is the Alpha Project. I'm sorry if I'm mistaken, but these 3 strong lifters, again, Bill Sikian, Cinder Bayo, Ken Tan, amazing lifters, all of them lifting at their home. So this is kind of counter, if somebody wants to say, oh no, commercial gyms are better. But look at these 3 individuals who are lifting at home, and they are really like the best in the game. Like they're like what, top 5% of the Philippines, top 1% maybe in the Philippines. So it's hard to say that commercial gyms are the superior one. And of course, because of course we have these individuals and much more who have stayed at their home gyms and they're crushing their game. And the third and final group of people would be the people who are now in a hybrid scenario wherein they have their home gym, but they also go to commercial gyms from time to time, I guess, depending on their needs. So I have 3 examples for that. First one is going to be Joyce Reboton, somebody who has an amazing home gym setup. Of course, it's not the biggest home gym. My home gym's pretty small as well, but it is one of the best ones because she has all Eleiko equipment, Eleiko bar, Eleiko plates. Of course, she's the best in the country, like literally the best in the country. So she has the best equipment at home. We also have Raymond, who trains at Zest, which is basically his home, but he also goes to Gold's Gym to do his accessory work and some of his main work, actually. Oh, sorry, I forgot to mention about Joyce. She mentioned on the podcast that she does her main work at home with her Eleiko equipment. I mean, dapat lang. If she bought that equipment, she might as well use it, right? And then she does her accessory work in a commercial gym nearby her house. The last example would be Isaiah De Villa, one of the Philippines' strongest benchers, pound for pound, actually. Definitely amazing bench for a 66-kilo lifter. He does his main work at home, and then he also goes to a commercial gym for his accessories. So all these 9 lifters in these 3 different categories are the best of the Philippines, and they're all training in different setups. So back to the main question. Well, it's not really a question now because I already answered it. With regards to which one would be better, a home gym or a commercial gym, there is no straightforward answer. But I'm not going to end it there. Of course, we do have to talk about now, what are the variables that you'd want to consider when it comes to picking if you should stick to your home gym, if you should still buy a home gym if you haven't already in 2023, or if you should just, stick to going to a commercial gym since, things are already better, health-wise or like society-wise. There are 4 variables that I think would be the main, the determining factors that would decide if you are going to go for either option or maybe the hybrid. 4 options. First one would be the cost. Second would be the convenience. Third would be the environment. And finally, the last one is variety. For the first one, let's talk about it. Cost. If you are already a home gym owner, you've already spent the money for your home gym, if you feel like that, cost wise, it's already a really good home gym, I don't think you should really consider getting a membership. Since you already spent all the money, and it can really be expensive. I mean, of course, you can go for budget options where like a complete setup can be like 10 to 15,000. But there are some people who have spent upwards of 200, 300,000 for their gyms. So if you're in that line or in that range, then maybe you wouldn't want to really consider to get a gym membership. But of course, if you had all that money, I'm pretty sure it's not going to be an issue for you to get a membership. But with regards to cost, if you're somebody who doesn't have a home, if you're somebody who's already, sorry, how can I phrase this? If you don't have a home gym already, and you also don't have a gym membership, so you're basically a beginner in 2023, if you're deciding which one is going to be the best one for you cost wise, my recommendation would be, of course, if you're after general fitness, if you're after more specific goals, it's hard to go on that. So let me just assume that you're after general fitness, getting bigger, more muscular, leaner, more endurance, like healthier joints, etc. General fitness. And if cost is your main deciding factor, I would definitely go for the home gym. That's my recommendation because at the end of the day, and nobody can deny, after a year or two of membership or paying for memberships, you're gonna be already spending the amount of that it would take to get a good or a decent home gym. So if you're gonna think about it in the long run, in which you should, because fitness is a long-term thing, it's not a 90-day challenge or whatever. If you are gonna be thinking about it in the long run, it would definitely be sorry. It would definitely be more cost effective if you were to buy a home gym, because once you pay for that entire gym setup already, that entire home gym, that's yours for life. Like I mean, of course, if you get like a complicated machine that has moving parts or whatever, sure, you might pay for maintenance or whatever. But if you get a decent bar, decent plates, decent rack, and it's not gonna break down, that's gonna last you for decades, literally. So it's really the most sensible option if you're going to think about long-term costs. But if you feel like that one-time payment is, of course, going to be too much for you, then of course, it's also a good option to go for the gym membership, because the membership fee is not going to be as big, or it's not going to be a one-time big-time payment, because it's going to be a monthly or like every 3 or 6 months kind of payment thing. So that's what you'll be considering if cost is your main deciding factor. Now, if convenience is what you are after the most, again, it's going to be the home gym. No one can deny that it is extremely convenient to literally just walk into your home gym, because it's literally like what? Sorry, got something in my throat. What am I talking about? Convenience. Because it's literally super convenient. It can't get any more convenient to go to the next room or to go to your garage to work out. That's literally all it would take. All you have to do is walk to the gym, and then it's going to take you like 10, 15 seconds, as opposed to a commercial gym wherein you'll have to drive to it or commute to it. So it is going to take a lot of time out of your day, especially with Manila traffic, on you going back and forth to the gym from your house or from your office or whatever. Going to a commercial gym will be, a bit more, hassle. But even though if I've talked about it in the sense that I'm making it look like that home gyms are way better than commercial gyms, the next factor, which is the environment or the atmosphere, I think I would definitely say commercial gyms would be the better one, because you're there. You're very much in the moment that I am here in the venue. I'm here in the environment where the sole purpose of everyone else within these four walls is to get better, as opposed to home gyms wherein sometimes it's very easy to get lazy. I did talk about, it's so convenient to just go to the gym or to your home gym because it's the next it's within your own home, but that convenience can also be, yeah, sure, it's a blessing, but it also might be a curse because it might be too easy for you. Or you might be like, oh, maybe just 5 more minutes, maybe in just 10 minutes. And before you know it, it's already been an hour or two and you just completely missed your workout for the day, which sucks. So again, it's a blessing and a curse. There's no black and white answer when it comes to this. So, but back to the environment or the atmosphere, you do feel a lot more motivated to work out or to push yourself or to really go surpass your limits when you're in a commercial gym. And I guess that's why a lot of these people transitioned to it. And another reason why a lot of people would transition back to commercial gyms is because of the variety. The amount of machines, different exercise equipment that will be readily available in the commercial gym will almost always be way better compared to most people's home gym. For example, I'll use my home gym as an example, which is it's actually a pretty complete home gym. I have a rack, I have plates, I have bars, I have I hope you can see it, a lying leg extension and leg curl. I have a adjustable cable machine. I have some dumbbells. That's pretty much it, and I can do like a solid full body workout. My clients are doing full body workouts. It's really complete, but I don't have a dedicated, let's say, what's a very unique machine or like very distinct machine. I don't have a pec fly machine. I don't have a rear delt fly machine. I don't have a leg press. I don't have a hack squat, pendulum squat. I don't have a chest supported row. I don't have a dedicated lat pull down area. So I don't have a lot of things that you can find in commercial gyms. And variety can play a very good part when it comes to people's mindset, because a lot of people, especially I guess after 2 or 3 years of home gym workouts, they can kind of find it boring to just do the same old body weight work, barbell work, dumbbell work. I mean, of course, there are a lot of different ways to manipulate those modalities, those equipment, to make it interesting, to make it novel once again. But for a lot of people, it gets too dull and repetitive, so they don't find the motivation to work out at home. Hence, a lot of people transitioning back into the home, transitioning back to commercial gyms because of the variety. So in those 4 things, I said that cost, home gym would be the winner. Convenience, home gym would be the winner. But when it comes to environment and variety, commercial gyms are really going to be the best. So it really just depends on you and your lifestyle and your priorities on what you think will be the best for you. And hopefully, like everything I've talked about in this episode so far, has been helpful for you to decide if you're a home gym owner, if you're going to sell your equipment, then go back to the gym, or if you're going to go for a hybrid variation, do your main work in your home and then your accessory work in the commercial gym, which is what I believe Joyce does. She does her SBD and SBD variations at her house, then goes to the commercial gym for accessories. Same for Isaiah, does his barbell work at home and then goes to the commercial gym for his supplementary work. So that's a good option to have if you want that hybrid setup. But if you're somebody who's just starting out, you don't have a home gym, you don't have a gym membership, hopefully this video is going to help you decide here in the year of 2023 if you should be going for a home gym or a commercial gym, or maybe some sort of hybrid between the both. So yeah, that's episode number 26, the home gym versus commercial gym in the year of 2023. And once again, as I mentioned at the start of this podcast or this episode, thank you to everyone who've been supporting the channel, supporting the podcast. It really means a lot. And I really hope that we see more and more creators arise here in the local scene, because for me, I've tried searching it. I couldn't find much or people that are still doing it. People need to... I want more Filipino podcasters for fitness, because I know there are podcasts for like different topics like relationships, business, art. We need more fitness guys. So again, if searching was just very lame and I couldn't find any good podcast, let me know. But if there's anyone that's viewing this that is interested to start, creating their own content, I mean, just go ahead, just do it. Look at me. I'm not a professional speaker, but I'm just doing my best because, I'm just talking about fitness, which is, I guess, what I know. But anyway, that's the episode, guys. I hope you guys really enjoyed it, and I hope that you will continually support the channel. We've reached 25 episodes. This is the 26th. I'm so excited to reach 50 because that'll be roughly the 1 year anniversary of this podcast, and hopefully you can reach 100 down the line. But yeah, that's all exciting. If you guys have anyone else that you'd want to be part of the podcast for me to interview, please let me know. And do all that YouTube stuff, share, like, subscribe if you haven't already. And I'll see you guys next week.